Football season is right here on FIXTURES on YouTube. Remember, this is where we get to talk about everything sports. Weekend Sports Extra is airborne. My name is Daniel Ejebudi, your host for the show. Today we are talking about Black Stars. Finally, we are able to do our things right to overturn the ban on we not playing our home games in terms of the qualifiers for AFCON. Ghana will finally get to play Sudan in Ghana here. Accra, Ghana, as somebody will say, at the Accra Sports Stadium. But the big question people are asking is, what went wrong? What did we do right? Is it the fault of the government? Is it the fault of GFA? Is it that as Africans or as a black man, we always want to be punished before we do the right thing? Those are the questions a lot of people are asking. My name is Daniel Ejebudi, and today Bobby joins me in the studio. Bobby, once again, it's nice to have you in the studio.
Great to be back.
Yes, let's talk about football. And we are talking about Accra Sports Stadium has finally been put into shape. Everything, CAF officials have inspected the pitch, and we have seen videos going all over that we'll be playing Sudan here in Accra, Ghana. It's a double header. We play them at home. We go to Sudan to play them. They are being coached by one of our former coaches and player and captain as well, Coach Kwesi Appiah, who is looking forward to qualify Sudan ahead of his homeland, Ghana. Let's talk about the pitch. What went wrong? What did we do right? Is it the fault of government? Is it the fault of GFA?
Well, you know, Ghana was a very embarrassing situation for us to have a football powerhouse, you know, known in Africa and the world, you know, to have such an embarrassing situation to be banned from having home games. It wasn't the best of situations at all, and I believe that kudos to the president. We're informed that he was involved in high levels talks, you know, to help rescind the ban and also to put the pitch in shape after firing the former NSA boss. You know, for starters, you know, as you were saying, sometimes black African you know, countries, you want to be punished before you do the right thing, and it's not the best because you know, we have national stadia which have been built for the purpose of sports, and we have to wait until we have an event, a major sporting or football event coming up before we start putting in place, you know, measures to make sure that the pitch is in good condition. It's very bad. I remember last year in December when we were doing events on the pitch, there were constant complaints and calls that they should cover the pitch, but it fell on deaf ears, you know, and they decided to run roughshod over the pitch, and the pitch hasn't really recovered, you know, since last year, you know, and we're just trying to manage it, and eventually we got embarrassed, you know, at Baba Yara, and the pitch was terrible, and even the coach of our opponents in the last international break complained bitterly, and it was an international embarrassment. Yes.
A lot of people have said, talking of events, other countries are doing it. Why is it that when we host events on our pitches, we end up rendering the pitch into that particular stage? Is it that we don't know how to stage manage or how to come up with some strategy or mechanisms that will maintain the pitch? Because we can talk of the clubs we support, they do concerts on their various stages, back to back, Barca, Madrid, or O2 Arena, Wembley, Tottenham Stadium, they host boxing bouts. Why is that Ghana we can't get to those things, right? If we even choose to rent out our various stages.
So obviously there are the technological advancements that allow you to be able to multi-purpose your pitch. You know, there are materials you use to cover your pitch to protect it from you know, such external or other activities beyond football. You know, I remember last year in December when Stonebwoy had a show at the Accra Sports Stadium. He was driving his car onto the grass. I mean, it's not the best. You know, the reason why those other countries are able to do it is, first of all, they have strict rules and regulations. You know, once they sign the contract for the use of the stadium, they make sure that you sign a contract, you know, all the regulations are agreed upon before they give you use of the stadium, and you are not allowed to do certain things that will jeopardize the quality of the pitch. You know, in Ghana we don't have that. Everybody does what they want as far as they feel like they've paid. You know, and the thing is, our enforcing body, the NSA, they are not strict enough with the enforcement. You know, once they get the money, they feel like, oh, let them destroy it, we'll remake it. But that's not a right mindset or a good mindset. They should, first of all, there are covers for pitches. You know, there's material that covers the pitch and absorb the shock of any other external activity that will make sure that the grass is not impacted, or even if it's impacted, the impact will be reduced. But there's no such covering. Everybody just does what they want. You know, they run roughshod on the pitch, and that's what caused the situation that we found ourselves in.
So the big question we're asking ourselves is, if as a country we could maintain or raise the standard of Accra Sports Stadium to this level, what was really stopping us from getting it to, I mean, Accra Sports Stadium was virtually in a deplorable state. I don't know for you, but I've had the chance of going to Accra Sports Stadium whereby I'm not even talking about the pitch. You go into their washroom. Oh my God!
Terrible.
It's an eyesore.
It's terrible.
The scent alone.
Terrible.
I mean,
it's a problem of leadership. You know, I don't want to blame or point fingers at specific leaders, but I would say generally leadership has failed us because we as fans, we cannot go and maintain the Accra Sports. We don't have the authority to. We don't have the mandate to do so. So those we've put in place in power, both politically and also sports administration, they are supposed to make sure that they maintain. You see, the thing about infrastructure is the more you maintain, the easier it becomes to maintain. Once you leave it for it to fall into disrepair, then it becomes harder to maintain it because once it costs more because now the damage is more. But once you progressively maintain or continue to maintain at every point, at every juncture, every week, every month, maintenance works are going on, then it's easier and also cheaper. But once you wait and leave it to deteriorate to a certain level, now it takes so much. And Ghana, we are not in a good financial situation, so it's hard for the government to release funds to do such wholesale repairs and maintenance. So I believe that from now on, I hope we have learned our lesson and that we'll keep doing continuous maintenance and make sure that we don't find ourselves in such a situation anymore.
A lot of people have come at GFA as well in blaming them as part because of recently. Let me give credit to our sports journalists who some of them wrote letters to FIFA to ask questions. So I'll credit Muftar Nabila of Multimedia. He wrote a personal. He asked questions and the GFA were not able to provide answers, and he wrote a letter to FIFA, and FIFA was able to provide details of certain amount of money that has been released to GFA to maintain our various natural. The word is natural grass pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happening at GFA?
It's tough because everybody always says it. Everybody always complains about GFA, and it has become as though we are beating in an old drum constantly. And the thing is, it's all about a money issue. People are giving monies. We don't know what they use the money for. We have systems in place to make sure that monies are used in maintaining natural grass pitches, but we don't see where the money goes. And people are not held accountable. That's the country we live in, unfortunately. But I would say that the back stops to GFA. Kurt and his guys, they have to do better. It was very embarrassing. And now that we've miraculously, or thank God, we've been given approval to use the stadium, I think that they've saved face for now. But I believe that in the future they should allocate monies, where they should be. And I commend our sports journalists for, putting the pressure on them and confronting them about the issues. And I hope that moving forward they will have a better approach to maintaining our pitches. Still
talking of our various pitches and maintenance, but a lot of people have not pointed fingers just to our various top stadiums or stadiums we have here.
Yeah.
So, for example, in Kufuor's era, we hosted the AFCON. There were a lot of training pitches. Let me use your school as an example. That day you had a training pitch.
We had a training pitch. Yes.
I'm not privy to this particular info, but you went to school there. You might know certain things. The pitch in your school, which body was in charge of maintaining that pitch?
So, I think obviously, being that the school is an entity on its own, once the organizing committee builds a pitch for you, I think that the day-to-day maintenance falls to the school. But obviously, if there's some support coming from the sports authority to make sure that to sub, because the school is not a sporting
entity.
Yes, it's not a sporting entity. So they can do their bits, but then maintenance in sports is quite expensive. So although I believe the primary responsibility and the day-to-day maintenance falls on the school, I think it's also a responsibility of the sports agency to at least monitor, to try and find out what the state of the pitch is periodically, not to wait till we have a huge event coming up before they try and go and find out what is happening. So I would say that for the pitch at my school in Prosec, I've not been there in a while, so I don't know the current state. But I think the day-to-day maintenance was handled by the school, and that is not the best in my opinion.
The reason why I asked this question is I've chanced on documents that gives me an info that even with the Sipon Sports Stadium, when they handed over to the government, the Chinese or the consultant that are in charge, they were able to provide details of how they built the stadium, and it was closer to the sea.
Yeah.
So how in some years to come, the sea breeze could affect how we should be able to maintain
it.
The funny aspect is, ever since it's been handed to Ghana authority or a Ghanaian, they come maintain. So the question is, it's like we don't know what we are doing, and I wouldn't say we are not ready to learn, but those who are in charge of all the go and watch Accra Sports Stadium, left to rot. It's simple. What even kills me is the recent Cape Coast. So in a very terrible state. I mean, talking of pitches. All right, so still talking about pitches. So let's go and watch this video about our current state of Accra Sports Stadium, and I mean that's the reason, or that's what did the trick for Ghana, for our venue to be accepted by CAF. And then when we come back, we'll zoom straight into the squad, and then the match itself is the double header between Ghana and Sudan. We'll be playing Sudan in Accra here 11th of October, and then we'll play the return leg 14th of October. Stick and stay, keep watching Netflix. When we come back, we still do justice to the squad of Ghana Black Stars. All right, so you saw the current state of, the Accra Sports Stadium. Everything is in order. The pitch, the dressing rooms, clean, neat, nice, and we are ready to play Sudan. So let's come back to the squad. So far 2 games, 1 point. We lost to Angola, drew, and we are playing Sudan double header. Let me quickly run you through the list. As you all know, we have the goalkeepers: Lawrence Atizigi, Joseph Wallacott and Frederick Asari of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Tariq Lamte, Kingsley Schneidler, Alexander Jiku, Abdul Mumi of Rayo Vallecano, Mohamed Salisu of Monaco, Jerome Opoku, Duseidu of Rennes, Gideon Mensah. We have Isaac Afful of Samates, Thomas Partey of Arsenal, Ibrahim Suleiman of Atlanta, Majid Ashimeru. We have Elisha Owusu and the star boy Mohamed Kudus, Ibrahim Osman of Feyenoord, and the Sniam of Olympique Lyonnais, Isahaku Abdul Fatawu of Leicester City, Jordan Ayew of Leicester City, Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth, Joseph Pencil of LA Galaxy, Brandon Thomas Asante, and Inaki Williams makes the 25-man squad to do justice against Sudan, both home and away. Bobby, your thoughts, observations, comments about the squad, this 25-man squad. Do you think this doubleheader is going to go the way we want? Some people believe if we don't get 4 points out of a possible 6, it's done and dusted for this group, because we'll be playing Angola in their home turf, which they came to beat us by a goal to nil in Kumasi.
Yeah, you know, this is the return of the homecoming, you know, of our own son Mayele, you know, Coach Kishapia, who's done an amazing job with the Sudan team. You know, they've been very solid. They've had a great qualifying campaign, and I believe that the assertion that we need at least 4 points is very true. You know, we've not been at our best. You know, recently we've been struggling, and this, in my opinion, is not the best time to meet Sudan, because Sudan, they're high on confidence, you know, and Kishapia wants to prove a point. You know, their defense is solid. They have Mohamed Abdelrahman, you know, who has been splendid in the qualifying campaign so far. You know, our squad is good. I believe that's the best we have to offer, but we'll have to see the result on the pitch. We hope that Coach Otto Addo will be able to, you know, conjure a game plan that will be able to, you know, get past the defense of Coach Kishapia Sudan national team.
The reason why I say that is if you don't get possible 6 points, imagine you don't beat Sudan here, you don't draw in their home turf, you have just a point, you are behind Sudan, Angola 6 points. Even though you'll be playing Niger, in Ghana, you have a game to play in Angola, which is a hostile ground.
Yeah.
So I mean, analysis, I still think if we don't get a 6 or a 4 points, we could be shooting ourselves in the foot.
We need at least 4 points. We need at least 4 points. I mean, we by no means, we can never underestimate them. Even at our best, which we are not at, we can't underestimate them, and we are not even in a good situation. So, as I was saying, Sudan have built, they have made their bread on their defense, and they will continue to make their bread on their defense, being a solid, compact team, being able to repel attacks. And Ghana have not been very fluid, you know. Our attacking players have not been able to gel chemistry-wise. We hope that, you know, our star boy Kudus can step up, you know, Partey holding things down the middle. Maybe we can pull us off. I believe 6 points is a bridge too far. We should aim for 4 points. I mean, people might say I'm being pessimistic, but that's the reality on the ground. Sudan is no joke, and we cannot summarily expect to get 6 points. We should try and get a win here in Ghana, and then hopefully we can get a draw once we get to Sudan.
A lot of people have said that Kurt has not had the best in terms of performance in tournaments, and it's true. Ever since he's been in charge or the helm of our office or affairs in terms of the president of the Football Association, Ghana have performed poorly in the major tournaments. If this current administration does not qualify us for an AFCON and the forthcoming World Cup, do you think it's time Ghana needs a shake-up with the GFA presidency?
You know, I'd say that we still have a good chance of qualifying, but in the event that we don't qualify, yes, we do need a shake-up. You know, football is not only playing on the pitch. I think that most people who are familiar with the sport will know that, you know, it starts from the very top, you know, from management, from administration, right down to the psychology of the players. And so far, the results have not been encouraging, you know, under Ketuku's administration. But we're hoping for a turnaround. But yes, as you were saying, once, if we are able to, I mean, AFCON, come on, Ghana, we have to be able to qualify for the World Cup. Is an expanded format in the USA, so we have no excuse. After, you know, if we don't qualify, it's be a colossal failure on the part of Kent and his GFA guys. So hopefully we do qualify, but if we don't, we need a major shake-up, definitely.
All right, so on any other day, this is, I mean, it's a much needed point you need to really come up for. If I'm pushing you to the wall, these 2 games, home and away.
Wow, you know, it's hard to predict Black Stars games now, but I believe that they will come to the fore. At the very least, the game in Accra, I'll predict a 1-0 win for the Black Stars. Okay. And then we can get either a 0-0 draw or 1-1 away for a double header.
So let me quickly run you through the various groups. In Group A, Tunisia, after 2 points, have 6 points. Comoros 2. Gambia a point, Madagascar a point. In Group B, Morocco 6 points, Central African Republic 3, Gabon 3, Lesotho languishing at the bottom with 0 points. In Group C, Egypt with 6, Cape Verde with 3, Mauritania 3, Botswana 0. Group D, Nigeria 4, Benin 3, Rwanda 2, Libya 1. All this are after match day 2. Remember, match day 3 and 4 will be played in the weeks from 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th of October. So at the time you are watching our broadcast, you should know that after match day 2 groups is what I'm running you through. In group E, Algeria with 6 points, Togo 2, Equatorial Guinea with 1, Liberia with 1. Group F, Angola, that's where Ghana is. Angola with 6 points, Sudan 3, Ghana 1, Niger 1. So hopefully after the double header, we might climb up a bit or we might drop down, still maintain our position. Time will tell. Group G, Cote d'Ivoire with 6 points, Zambia 3, Sierra Leone 1, Chad 1. Group H is Dr. Congo 6, Tanzania 4, Ethiopia 1, and Guinea 0. Group I, Mozambique 4, Mali 4, Guinea-Bissau 3, Eswatini 0 points. Group J, Kenya 4, Cameroon 4, third position Zimbabwe 2, Namibia 0. Group K, we have Uganda 4, South Africa 4, Congo Republic 3, and South Sudan 0. Group L, which is the last group, we have Burkina Faso 4, Senegal 4, Burundi 3, Malawi 0. Talking of Senegal, they have parted ways with their AFCON winning coach Aliou Cissé. What do you make of Bobby?
Well, Senegal still have one of the strongest sides on the continent, regardless of who's coaching them. I believe that they still have a chance. Mostly when you need a shake-up, the first is a corporate. The word I'm looking for is the coach.
Is the coach? Yes.
He's the one who has to be sacrificed for the shake-up. So let's see how it works out for the Teranga Lions of Senegal, and then hopefully we'll see what happens.
All right. So before we wrap up, let's switch to Europe. Europe qualifies to going as well. South America. Do you want to have a bite in any of the Europe game? People believe Spain are still having a potential squad to defend their crown in Europe and be a world champions. They are building something nice. Portugal is up and up there with 0 trying to reach the 1K goals. We have other teams. England have been there and there, getting closer and closer. You're thick. You can take any country of your interest. Then we begin to wrap up the show for today.
Well, with the European qualifiers, I'm excited.
They are playing the UEFA Nations League.
Yes, they're playing the UEFA Nations League. I'm excited. For Spain, De La Fuente after winning the Euros, there's always a bit of a hangover sometimes after winning a major international trophy. But I'm excited to see the young boys, what they can do. The likes of Lamine Yamal taking Spain, on his back. Even as a young lad, I believe that they have a good chance of winning the Nations League, and also they're my team to watch, even going to the next World Cup, considering that Yamal will be almost 19, I think, 2024. Yes, and I mean, I'm a Barcelona fan, so I'm a bit biased. Yes, I'm a bit biased to that side. So I'm looking forward to watching Spain in the international break. You can touch
on France. You can touch on England. Good news is Pogba's ban
is being
has been resigned.
Yes. So
he's back.
Good news for Paul Pogba. I'm happy. Every football fan is happy to have Paul Pogba back in the association football, because he's a very skillful player, very accomplished, and we're happy to have him back. I think Juventus might release him, but he might go to Saudi Arabia. Regardless, I think that if he gets back and he's back to his form and full fitness, he will be back in the France team. Giving passes, pinging passes to Kylian Mbappe, and obviously France are always exciting to watch. They have so many talents. I mean, there's almost 3 first 11s for France. So with Pogba coming back, it's good news, and they're always going to be at the forefront of the European game. So hopefully we are going to monitor developments and see how it goes with the French national team.
All right, so keep enjoying the games everywhere you are watching, wherever you are watching. I mean, we talk about our pitch being approved. We spoke about our game, our squad, and of course we touch a bit of the European scene as well. The Copa America is also ongoing. All are in shape for the World Cup. US, Mexico, and Canada 2026. But of course, Africa, we are playing for our AFCON, and we have later we'll be playing for our World Cup. So this one time will permit us for this edition of Football Edition on Weekend Sports Extra, FIXTURES. Remember to subscribe to the channel and always keep making us #1. So we come away with another top quality of sports presentation right here. Is being a Neoflix and Jesse production right here. It's bye-bye for now.